Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Dave, along with my colleague Mike, and LPN is proud to welcome you to the Couch Coaches. Guys, thanks for joining us on the first episode of the Couch Coaches. This will hopefully be a weekly series where we will dive into everything Tri-State sports. This week, we're going to open the show talking about the 2023 Cincinnati Bengals season and what we can expect and what we hopefully hope to have happen. Now, Mike, last year we were able to make it to the AFC Championship game where we did lose to Kansas City.
Correct.
With a 12-4 record, what do you think would be the biggest key to ensuring that we can maybe have a successful season again?
Well, I think our O-line would be a great help. We have the guys back from last year with Orlando Brown signing huge signing, off-season signing with the Bengals this year. So hopefully that will keep Joe off his backside and just utilize our weapons that we have. Higgs, Chase,
Tyler Boyd in the slot.
Yeah. And
what do you think of Irv Smith coming in at tight end? You think he'd be a good weapon?
I think so. I think he's no Hayden Hurst, which he was an awesome tight end last year. And I was kind of hoping that the Bengals would have drafted Michael Mayer from out of Notre Dame to be the tight end, but that didn't happen. And we need to have Joe Mixon or whoever we have in the backfield produce that running game, so it gives our guys that are out, our receivers, the chance to break the one-on-ones or the double teams to get them open. And I think we'll have a heck of a season. I mean, my opinion is that I think we could do better than we did last year.
We definitely have to get a better start.
Yeah.
That 0-2 start really put us...
That 0-2 start killed us, and I think with the preseason coming up here, that you start Joe Burrow, you start your starters in the preseason and not have them take off. You only do that when they're getting up there. They've produced, and okay, Joe, you play a series.
Right. Years in the system.
Years in the league. So now, let's have the O-line, all your starting O-line, your starters, you start the preseason with them, have them start, maybe do the first quarter.
Right.
And then you bring your backups in, and then go the rest of the game with your backups and your second team, your third team.
Right, your fringe roster members.
Your guys that may not make the roster, but end up on the practice team. Right. So maybe that could help us, during the preseason. And then you'll have that continuity going into the regular season. And then we hopefully won't start 0-2, 0-3.
Right.
Where we're trying to, we're behind the Steelers and the Ravens, which I don't play it from behind, which I don't see us trying to compete with the Ravens and the Steelers and the Browns this year because
we're so far ahead.
We're so far ahead of them. Yeah.
Well, you got to look. Pittsburgh has a second-year quarterback.
Right.
Baltimore's going to have a whole new offensive system.
Yes.
In Cleveland, is Deshaun knocked the rust off? Has he gotten the rust off of him? Because last year, he just sure didn't look like the Deshaun Watson we saw in Houston. But I'll tell you, my key is we have to start fast.
Start fast, start strong.
The being 4-4 and needing 8 consecutive wins heading into the postseason is something you cannot rely on. You can't rely on 10 straight wins to make it to the conference championship.
Correct. I think one of our problems is once we build up a lead, we kind of take our foot off the gas.
No doubt.
We got to keep our foot on the gas pedal, keep our foot on our throat.
Well, with that being said, do you think having to replace both starting safeties I mean, can we do that? Can we keep this defense aggressive? Can we keep this defense elite?
I think we can.
By plugging in, because Nick Scott's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's all right. He's serviceable. And I mean, this
Cam
Taylor-Britt.
Yes. I think he proved himself.
I think he's going to be
to be
Awujie's coming back from the torn ACL. I like the third-round draft pick at safety, Jordan Battle. I mean, the kid did nothing but ball at Alabama.
Right.
We're talking about a 3-year starter for a Nick Saban-led team that, I mean, they play the best competition every Saturday in the SEC.
Yes. I mean, what conference is better than the SEC?
I don't think there is one, is there? I mean, I know the Big Ten fans will clamor how they are, but
don't get. We'll pick up
save
on
that topic for another show.
We'll save the Big Ten and me getting hot about that. But
with our first round pick this year was a defensive end out of Clemson named Miles Murphy.
Right.
I believe a lot of the season hinges on him. In the AFC Championship, we had 2 sacks of Patrick Mahomes, who couldn't move. He had an injured ankle, couldn't move, but he still gashed us and tore us up. We had no pressure on him. Right. I can understand why they drafted a defensive end first in the first round. I get it. Yeah. It looked like the whole draft we were going with best available. But the general consensus is we were either going to go lineman, offensive lineman, or the tight end there, and we didn't.
All right.
So it puts the kid in a position to where he has to perform this year. He has to give rotation time to Hubbard, to Hendrickson. They have to let those guys rest because we have to get home to the quarterback to find success in the postseason.
And he's got to be prove that he was worthy of that first round pick.
For sure.
You know, I mean, you look at
He's got a lot of question marks to answer.
You look at the defensive players that we've drafted in the first round. Dan Wilkinson is is the one that comes
Big
to mind.
Daddy Dan, baby, love
he
that
didn't
guy.
do squat.
Oh, I thought he was a Bengal icon, but he didn't finish here, did he?
He didn't finish, and it's just.
What about Justin Smith? He played so well that he signed that mega deal with the 49ers when he left here. I think, though, we have a lot of trouble with defensive drafted players. I mean, just look at David Pollock. He played a season in a game, broke his neck.
Now he's doing
Saturday, college game day.
Yeah, college game day. And I think he could have been a hell of a player.
I think if Murphy wants to find success, he's going to have to follow the trend that Shaq Lawson said. Out of the last 4 defensive ends drafted in the first round from Clemson, only Shaq Lawson is with the team that originally drafted him. Vic Beasley, for example, was converted to defensive end, and he's playing in the XFL now. Gaines Adams in 2007 was drafted by Tampa Bay, and he only lasted in the league for 3 years. I don't trust defensive players coming from Clemson.
Right.
But so let's break down the season a little bit.
Okay.
Of course, a few years ago, the NFL has added the extra game. We're into the 3rd season of the extra game, so we'll have 17 weeks, 17 games played. 18 weeks altogether. We'll have a bye week, I believe. Week 7 is the Bengals bye week this year. We'll go on the road to open the season at Cleveland. To me, that's a win. I mean, that's a win. Cleveland ain't going to beat us. We're going to beat them pretty good. We'll turn around. We'll host Baltimore and the Rams. Do you think we have enough to start the season 3-0? Or do you think one of those could be a loss?
I think, to be honest with you, Cleveland, Burrow has a hard time up in Cleveland.
Right, let's not forget that Halloween game.
He has a hard time with Cleveland in general.
So Joe Burrow, just a fun fact, Joe Burrow has started every game against Cleveland with an interception.
Yeah.
Every game he has played Cleveland for 5 consecutive games, he has started the game, the first offensive series, he has turned the ball over. So, after Baltimore and the Rams, we'll travel to Tennessee. We'll stay on the road against Arizona. We'll host Seattle. We'll play San Francisco in California. We'll come back and play the Bills, which is a huge game because if you remember, we had that game on Monday night canceled last year because of the Damar Hamlin situation. Yeah. What a scary scene that was, man.
That was quite scary. Yeah.
We'll host Week 10. We'll play host to Houston. We'll travel to Baltimore. We'll play host to Pittsburgh. And then Week 13, we'll be on the road in Florida playing Jacksonville. We'll follow that up with 2 games at home against the Colts, Minnesota. We'll go on the road versus Pittsburgh. the infamous New Year's Eve game against Kansas City at Arrowhead. And then we'll end the year with Cleveland at home. With that being said, and I know we just went through it real quick, but if you guys can see the graphic, we have the whole schedule listed for you right there. I wholeheartedly believe, going through this season, we are going to go 12-5.
Okay. I'm gonna say we go 14-3.
That's bold. Is this the year?
This is the year. I'm all in, as they say in poker. I'm putting my chips all in.
This is the year, huh?
This is the year. We go. We just hand it to every team in the AFC in the playoffs. Hand it to the team that whoever's picked to be the favorite in the NFC. Philadelphia, San Francisco. I think we can do it.
I believe so. I believe a 14-3 record gets us hosting all the way through the playoffs.
Exactly.
I believe, like we said, the three keys to this season are going to be stabilizing that D, making sure our own line play 17 regular season games, 21 games altogether if we're going to be Super Bowl champs, and we need to run the ball.
Exactly.
I think if we can do that, man, I'm telling you, hot take. I think if we can do that, Joe Burrow wins his first MVP this year.
Oh, dude, no doubt.
Wouldn't that be nice? Go undefeated at home, maybe have a fill-up Paycor Stadium to the brim like we did last year.
Man, I tell you, this beer, Monkey Wrench by The Taste is Right.
Right.
It is freaking amazing.
Well, man, thanks for giving me some. That last run we just did, the recording was pretty intense. I'm pretty thirsty, man.
Yeah.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers, brother. Ah, damn.
Damn, what'd you call that?
Monkey Wrench.
Dude, I gotta tell you.
That's an Oktoberfest beer.
Who brewed this?
I did.
Our stat guy brewed this. What's it called again?
Monkey Wrench.
Dude, guys, I gotta tell you, I don't drink ever, and this is pretty good. This is pretty damn good. Hell yeah, I'm ready to do another take. You ready?
Whenever you are, bub.
Let's get at it, man. The Cincinnati Reds and these fire jerseys.
Yeah, these jerseys are lit.
Dude, I'm telling you, these things have been the nicest City Connect I have seen in the last 3 years. It's been 3 years they're releasing those.
I believe 4. There's only 19 City Connect jerseys
that have been released so far.
Jerseys that have been released.
So we still have 11 to go for because I know Baltimore just debuted theirs.
Yeah, I think Baltimore's is a cheap knockoff of ours. Yeah, it's white lettering, all black white lettering, and the hat is got a white bee on it.
Oh, how impressive!
Yeah.
Speaking of hats, man, look at yours. What a nice hat that is.
Sit that right there.
So now tell me, Mike, you were telling me something interesting off camera earlier. This new C, it's nothing like we've seen before.
No.
A lot of people hate it. A lot of people love it. But you found out some interesting stuff about it. What was that you found out about it?
Well, the 5 stripes here are there for us winning the 5 World Series that we've won.
No doubt. So you're telling me each one of these lines represents the world. Each one represents a World Series.
Yeah,
that's cool. So they did because I see that there's 5 stripes here.
5 stripes there, 5 on the C, and the stripe around the hat is throwback to
their first hat.
First hat, yeah.
Right. That's why they were called the Reds, right? The Red Legs, because they had the red stripe and they wore red socks.
Right.
That's pretty awesome. So it's a look to the future, while also honoring the past.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool. I'll tell you something about speaking of future in the Reds. Have you seen the kids coming up through the pipeline, man?
McLean, that kid, I tell you, he's a beast.
Isn't he, though?
Yeah, he's like legit on fire.
For sure, batting .484 since he's been called up. I was actually in attendance last Tuesday when he hit his first career home run.
Yeah. It
was in a losing effort, but man, they've been on a roll since. They came back that following game, beat St. Louis 10-3. Then they went and swept the Cardinals. Or I'm sorry, the Cubs.
Yeah.
They went and swept the Cubs.
First time in 10 years at Wrigley that they sweep the Cubs.
No doubt. So this team that everybody's given up on before the season even started has done something not even the 2012 playoff team did, and that was sweep the Cubs at Wrigley.
At Wrigley, yeah.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
So
And, I mean, you got to think, Hunter Green just locked in that new deal. Yeah. I mean, he's here for the long term, which is the only guy under contract
right now
after this year. So, I mean, the future is bright. My only question is, Mike, where do you think they're going to play 7 shortstops?
Hard telling.
I mean, you got Ellie De La Cruz, who's the number 1 prospect in all of baseball right now. Mm-hmm. He's a third baseman shortstop. Well, you just called up Matt McClain to play shortstop. You got Jonathan India at second, Steer at third. Where do you play him? I mean, in my opinion, he's a prime candidate to be moved to the outfield. How do you feel about that?
I think he's a great candidate to play right field. He's got a cannon for an arm.
Doesn't he, though? Did you see that throw from third?
Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, the guy's an all-around player. He's launching home runs. 450 yards. I'm pretty sure the one he hit, Thursday, still hasn't even landed yet. So, I mean, if you get him in the Great American, I bet you he puts one in the Ohio without bouncing it off the street like Dunn did.
Yeah, I was going to say Adam Dunn is the only guy that has ever put a ball into the river, but it had to bounce off the road and jump in there. Yeah, 425-yard home runs, guys. Hitting the ball out the park 114 miles an hour. So De La Cruz has 7 hits, be it a double, be it a triple, be it a home run. He has 7 hits that saw an exit velocity over 100 miles an hour. There are 11 ball clubs in Major League Baseball that do not have more than 1 exit velocity of 100 miles an hour. 11 teams combined do not have that exit velocity, and this kid's done it himself 7 times.
I think the highest exit velo came from Aaron Judge.
Dude, he can rip.
Yeah.
He's actually led the league in exit velocity the last 3 years.
So, and I attended the first City Connect game.
Oh, did you? Was it on a Friday?
It was on a Friday, which every Friday, as in the Reds home series, that they'll be wearing.
Oh, so they'll wear these every Friday from now on if they're at home?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. To go along with either the fireworks show or the concerts they do? How awesome is that?
It's amazing. But I saw Aaron Judge rip one. I seriously thought it was going to head to the river.
It's going to hit Newport, huh?
Yeah.
The Hooters girls were going to find the ball.
Yeah.
No doubt. Well, we'll move on now. Speaking of teams in Cincinnati we can take pride in, what about FC Cincinnati? I mean, how crazy is that? They're so far on the year, they stand 10, 1, and 3. They're the first team this season to hit 33 points in 14 matches, which actually makes them the 6th team in MLS history to ever accomplish that feat. They're the 6th fastest to 33 points. But, I mean, is it real?
I'm going to be honest with you and our viewers and listeners. I'm not really a soccer guy, but to see I've been keeping one eye, out on them. I really don't think it's going to last to be a miracle that
we can finish this.
We can finish it. They're still a young team.
For sure.
They can hopefully do good things. And I'm going to probably have to give it a try. And
we should take you out to TQL, man.
TQL, I mean, I don't think they deserve that stadium.
No doubt. What makes you feel that way?
Well, I'm a hockey fan. I think they should have improved the arena for
Heritage Bank
for the Clones, so they could grow, get more people in attendance,
right,
and show the Reds and the Bengals and FC Cincinnati how winning is done.
No doubt.
So, I mean, every year since they've won their last championship in 2010, the Cyclones have been in the playoffs. And they've done amazing things. Yeah, they've lost in the second round this past season. They've lost in later rounds, but they still have made it to the playoffs.
They're the most recent team to bring us a championship.
Exactly, 2010.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm excited. I'm excited for the Reds. I'm excited for the Bengals. I want to get into soccer. I don't know much about soccer, but I think, SC Cincinnati could win.
You want them to prove it to you.
I want them to prove it. The Reds have proved it. The Bengals have proved it. Well, the Bengals haven't won a championship, but
we've been there 3 times now.
Yeah,
we're knocking
times.
on the door.
We're not, 4th time's maybe a charm. And the Cyclones have won 2 championships.
Right.
So I want them to prove to me why they deserve that, why that stadium was built and why they're not still playing at Nippert. So I want them to prove it to me.
Right.
It's like anything else.
So they may be having a good year, but you haven't bought it yet, have you?
Yeah, I'm not buying until, and you might want to call me a bandwagon, that's fine. Call me a bandwagon. But I'm pretty much a local fan of all our sports.
Right.
Here in Cincinnati. Just not FC Cincinnati. And like I said, every team has proved themselves since they've been here that, okay, we can go out and win. Not the Reds and the Bengals. The Bengals and the Cyclones recently have been winning.
One of the hottest tickets around.
The Reds, here lately, you get to the All-Star break, and then it's just downhill.
Right.
So hopefully, with us, the Reds, sitting in 3rd place, we can get up and make it through the rest of the season in 1st place, and hopefully get to the playoffs.
No doubt. So
I'm sorry for jumping around.
You said you weren't a soccer fan, so you want them to prove it. You want them to prove that they can win, they can have this publicity, they can handle success.
Exactly.
Right, because coming into the year, they had, 26 wins, 68 losses, and 31 draws?
Exactly.
I mean, get a winning record for all time, and then you'll jump in.
Yeah. Give me a winning record through a couple seasons. And then we'll see, get into the playoffs. They made the playoffs. I believe they made it last year.
They did for the first time in club history.
So, okay, that's step number 1. I'm still not buying it. You gotta
make it the standard.
You gotta make it the golden standard.
That's right.
And that's what the teams in Cincinnati are missing. Is this city is a championship city. You have Green Bay. It's called Title Town. You have San Francisco, they've won multiple championships.
The Patriots.
New England
Patriots. Boston. Look at Boston.
Boston, yeah.
Dang, the year they won the championship in the NBA, the World Series, and then the NFL with the Patriots won. Yeah, that was a heck of a time to live in Boston.
Yeah, so
I want that here.
Yeah, I
want that so bad here.
I mean, you have to have that mindset. Okay, we're going to go into the season. We're going to win. We want to win. We want to prove to why the fans...
Not we want to win, we expect to win.
Exactly. Why the fans are spending their hard-earned dollar to come watch us play.
No doubt.
Not for us to throw our hats in or throw the flag in our white wave our
white flag. Yeah. By the All-Star break.
Or during the Bengals season, mid-season, we're 0 and whatever, we're going to wave the flag. Don't, because we have that team. The Bengals have that team. The Reds are slowly trying to get that team.
Future's bright.
They need to get rid of some of the coaching staff, and I'm sorry.
I think that's the biggest thing with FC though. We have a coach, we have a front office that are soccer people.
Exactly.
They're not business people. They are soccer people. They know what it takes. I believe the GM coming for FC Cincinnati right now actually came from Philadelphia, who was in the championship game last season. He knows soccer. Mike, we're going to move off. One topic I did want to touch before we close this episode was the NHL finals and the conference finals. So I know you're a big hockey guy. I'm going to let you drive this train, but tell me about it because it seems so awesome. Like
the Stanley Cup. I'm sorry.
So I know one team's already booked for the Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
and that's the Florida Panthers.
Yes.
How did they get there? I thought they were taking they opened the playoffs with the best team in all of hockey.
Yeah, my Boston Bruins.
Right.
They came back from 3-1 down and beat them. Then they moved on to Toronto, swept Toronto, came and played the Carolina Hurricanes,
Swept
them, and now they're waiting for the winner of Las Vegas and Dallas.
How's that series looking?
It's a 3-2 series.
3-2. Hold on. 3-2.
3-2.
I couldn't remember. I thought it was just last Tuesday I placed a bet for Vegas to win. And they took a 3-0 lead. What do you mean 3-2?
3-2, yeah. They were on the verge of sweeping Tuesday, and Dallas is hanging in there.
They've come back.
Yeah.
Man, that's so odd. That's just like the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics series.
That I haven't watched an NBA game since 2008, but
so I saw where I'm sorry. I'm so interested in hockey now. This is the first year I've tried to follow it.
Yeah.
So I went to a Columbus Jackets game, and oh my gosh, was that a fun time. I'm hooked.
Yeah.
I'm a hockey fan, bro. I am full a hockey fan. But how in the world does a team like Vegas, who's only been around for 4 or 5 years?
6.
Okay, so they've been around for 6 years. They've made the playoffs all but 1 year of that existence. They've been to the finals once to win against Nashville, right?
No, they lost against the Washington Capitals.
Oh, that's right. Ovechkin finally got him one, right?
Yeah.
So you have all this success in such a short time, but you're about to lose a 3-0 lead? Because I know game 6 is in Dallas.
Correct.
So I mean that's home ice. That's got to be a heck of an advantage.
Oh, yeah, it is. But you look at the Boston series, and the Bruins had home ice, and they
couldn't close it out.
So
who do you think? Just hot take. Who do you think is going to come out of that? Vegas or the Stars?
I want the Vegas Golden Knights. I seriously, I had the Boston Bruins winning the Stanley Cup, but I seriously think Vegas goes in there, proves why they're hated by the league.
For sure. How does that expansion team come in there and have this much success?
6 years and you've made the playoffs every year but one.
Right. I mean, you've made the conference finals 4 times.
Correct.
You're on the verge of knocking on your second Stanley Cup. I mean, how is that even possible, man?
Like they say in all sports, any given
game. That's right.
Exactly.
Any given day. Mike, I appreciate you coming on with me, man. I appreciate you being here. I look forward to the next one we do this.
Exactly, man. This has been great.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us also. None of this would be possible without you guys. For Mike, myself, thank you for joining us.